So we pick him up outside Colt Cabanas' house, and I'm like, I called him, and I was like, hey, I'm outside. He goes, okay, I'll be out 1 sec. Please don't leave. I just drove 4 hours to pick you up. Trust me, I'm not just going to leave at the drop of a dime. So, and I was like, and Chicago's hella busy, as it always is. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm waiting for this Japanese dude. Well, he comes out, and he's my height. I'm like, oh shit, like, okay, this isn't that bad. Because, like, if you ever seen any of Shige's promo photos, it's a big fucking dude. He's like mean mugging and whatever. And it's like this big bubbly guy comes walking out of Colt Cabana's apartment. I'm like, oh shit, like, okay, all right. So, and I was like, here, let me get your bags for you. And so he's like, okay. And he doesn't say much. And he gets in my car. And I'm like, oh shit, I just picked up a guy that's not going to talk to me at all. Like, this sucks. Like, and so we get out to the outskirts of Chicago, which the worst part about Chicago and Illinois in general is the freaking pay tolls.
Yes.
I spent like $25 getting in and getting out.
Yeah.
It is the worst.
I've been to Chicago so many times, and I always try to find a route, but there's no way around
there
it.
is a route, actually.
Is there?
Yeah, it's you just go through like the bottom level of like Terre Haute-ish to Illinois, and you just go up. It's actually a lot better. So I pick him up, and we're going through the very last toll, and on my air freshener, I have buttons because I'm a button fanatic. And he's like siphoning through them, and it's like Bob's Burgers and a couple zombie ones. And he gets to Baymax, and he goes, "Ooh, Baymax." I go, and like mind you, I'm paying like this lady. I go, "What?" And I was like, and he has a button with Baymax, and he's like up in my face. He goes, "Baymax, Big Hero 6." I go, "Oh shit, son, this is what we're gonna bond over in this car trip." So we started talking about Big Hero 6, and then I believe Girlfriend by Avril Lavigne came on the radio, and he looks at me with this huge smile, and I start singing it, and he starts like dancing in the car, and he's just like humming to it because he knows very little English, and he takes a Twitter video and posts it on Twitter and tags me in it. I get like 28 followers right off that. I'm like, oh shit, okay, whatever. And so like I didn't know, and like we started like talking, and like as we would pass, I would say the correct word, and he would say what it was, and then he would say the Japanese word for it. And so like we would do car, and we would do truck, and we would do tree, and and then we started like finding very little words that we could piece together. Jonathan crashed like asleep like an hour into it. So it's a 3-hour trip. I'm awake with the Japanese dude, and he has his phone translating what we cannot converse. So we're trying to converse, and he would like think about it, and then would put it into his phone if he couldn't come up with the correct answer. And me and him just talked about life. We didn't talk about wrestling. We just talked about Japan, and then like why he came to America. And he's like when we had like an hour to go, and I was tired, and he was just like, man, he goes, I like wrestling. He's like, I want to wrestle Eddie Kingston, and I want to wrestle Chris Hero. He's like, that's what I came down here to do. He's like, because the match may not happen in Japan. And he's like, I'm coming out here to learn, and I'm like, okay. So we just bonded over Big Hero 6 at first, then Avril Lavigne, then we bonded over Psycho Killer, the Talking Heads song, Tommaso Ciampa's theme song. That came on, and he started singing it. He knew that song word for word. Out of anything like American, he knew Psycho Killer, and he would sing it in my car. This is the first time I ever met him. I was like, this guy's awesome.